I cried. Oh my God, I'm having that feeling again. I felt like I've killed someone. My father just died the previous year and he slapped my face. Normally I run to my mom when things like that happen. That's the first time I ran to my mom and my mom turned her eyes off me. And they said, from henceforth, you will not be sleeping at night.
That's the same man that accused you of witchcraft?
Yes, of witchcraft. I got an accident here, but the hand did not cut off totally.
Right.
Now this man took me with this bandaged hand and flogged this hand with this bandage. The bandage was on it. He flogged it that the hand started bleeding. And my mom said, then cut it off. I felt so horrible. I think from the beginning, even till this day, I still wonder what must have triggered it. Because I was only 5.
You were accused as a child of witchcraft.
Yes. So strange. Now, I think from the beginning, even till this day, I still wonder what must have triggered it. Because I was only 5. 5 years old. You know, sometimes when you're telling a story, when you say 5, it now looks like a child.
Yeah.
5 years old is a baby.
Yes.
There's nothing a 5-year-old should do
that will make you punish them.
Yeah, and just raise something, unless it's something inside you.
Yeah.
I have a Muslim friend who said something. He said, the beauty you see is in your eyes. So actually, when I say you were beautiful, the beauty I'm seeing on you is actually from my own eyes. Yes. So with that, I came to this conclusion. The ugly the person saw was actually in his eyes. It has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So the beginning bit of it is something I really cannot wrap my head around.
Right.
Although I was privileged to ask my mom,
okay.
I'm like, Mom, tell me, was there something I was doing at age 5 that triggered this feeling or this suspicion or this accusation? But she was like, no, there's absolutely nothing. I can't trace it to anything. So now, I would have dug deeper. But each time my mom, we talk about this topic, I see my mom collapsing, as if she's dying. So this was why I stopped talking
asking about it.
Yeah, because I really wanted her to let's get to a point where we would have healed and flowed to a point. Then I'll be able to speak more. But unfortunately, I moved to London, and then she passed.
Yeah.
But So how would I say it now? I'm very grateful we had a very beautiful relationship, and I loved her dearly before she died. Yeah.
Take us back to that moment. How did this accusation happen?
Okay. Yeah. So like I said, I was 5 years old. All I could remember was I just came back home. I was playing outside one day, and I got in the house. My mom was seated, this man was seated, and 2 of my siblings, my elder ones, they were seated.
How old was this man at the time?
I think he should, I don't think I know his age,
right.
But at least he should be in his 30s, early 30s.
So he was in his 30s at the time?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
He should be in his 30s. Because with my calculation, my eldest brother was his friend.
Okay.
So they should be age mates.
The same age.
He's older than my eldest brother.
Right.
So that's with my calculation.
So he was 30 and you were 5. So you came back and saw everybody sitting down.
So I saw everyone seated, and they said, and he slapped my face. At 5, I was shocked. Normally I run to my mom when things like that happen. That's the first time I ran to my mom, and my mom turned her eyes off me. And he said, he put his hands in my mouth. I was shocked. This was at 5. This was all I remembered. And they beat me that day. I don't know what was happening. And my mom couldn't hold me. I was really heartbroken. And they told me, okay, go into your room. I went to the room. I sat down. I was crying. And he came again. Normally, I could cry as a child. He came again and he beat me again in the room and said, if he hears my voice. So I went and I was until I stopped and I slept off. Then I woke up. When I woke up, they said, come here. Everyone was seated in the evening. This was like 8 p.m. And they said, from henceforth, you will not be sleeping at night. And they kind of made an arrangement among themselves because I'm the youngest among 10. So I have 9 siblings. So now they made arrangement among themselves. So some persons will stay with me for 2 hours. Some persons will stay to make sure I don't sleep. So I was really confused. So that was how it actually started. Let me go back to this finger, about this finger. I think I was like 6 years old. My father just died the previous year. And my mother, she started doing this pap where we grind corn and we turn it to pap and we go sell it for breakfast. So that was it. This day, me and my brother, we went to grind this corn. My brother was not supposed to turn the machine on. It was the operator who was meant to turn the machine on. Right. So the operator was insisting on a price. Don said, oh, it's not that difficult. You just turn it on like this. And my hand was on the belt because I didn't know the machine would be turned on. Okay. So the belt just swinged my finger to the engine, to the machine at the other side, the wheel. And I got an accident here, but the hand did not cut off totally. Right. Now my brother took me and we ran to the chemist. Yeah. We got there. There was a nurse there. So the nurse said it's fine. There's still life in the hands. Because it was just like 5 minutes race we had. So they stitched the hand neatly. They told me to come back in 7 days so they could take off the stitches. So I got home that day. My mother came back from the market and my mother was crying. Said, oh God, if my husband had not died. You know, she's still mourning. Her husband just died the previous year. If my husband had not died, I would not have started this Akamo business that would have led to my son.
My son's hand cutting off.
So this man just came out of his room and met my mom.
Was the same man that accused you of witchcraft?
Yes, of witchcraft. His name is Chochi. He just came out of the room and he said, don't cry, don't cry. If I tell you the real story behind this hand, my mom was looking at him. And he said, the previous night, devil had asked me to come take my mom for sacrifice. But when I got to the room, I asked my mom, you know you always pray. My mother said, yes, I always pray. So he prayed on that. He said, so when he got there, he saw Holy Ghost fire surrounding you. He couldn't penetrate. So when he went back to coven the next day, the devil said, no, I'm not having this without you bringing your mother. So you have to sacrifice your own blood. Your blood has to go on the earth. That they cut the hand in the coven. So I came to earth. It has to be cut physically for devil to be fulfilled. But that was how this thing happened. If you see how my mother looked at me, he looked at me like I'm so disappointed. And don't forget, I'm only 7. So she stood up and she went to her room. And I heard her singing and praising God and prayed. And she went to sleep while I was still in the living room. Now this man took me with his bandaged hand, took me to the bush and flogged this hand with this bandage. The bandage was on it. He flogged it that the hand started bleeding. The bandage was like soiled. And in the morning, I didn't want anyone to see that mess. So I stole my mother's money. I went to buy bandage from a chemist. And I wrapped the hand by myself to cover all of the soiled bandage so people don't start asking me what happened. Because I can't tell them. They've told me at home, if anyone ever hear this story outside, I'll be killed. So I took this. I took the hand. Okay, now the hand was being, I think it was infected. It was painful. But don't forget, I could not express the pain because I'll be killed at home. Because they feel it's self-inflicted.
Yes.
I was going through this pain. So
you can't tell people at home because they think you are the one manipulating this.
Yes.
You can't tell people outside because they've warned you that if you tell people outside, they will kill you.
And not only that, I was also afraid that I would be judged outside as well.
Yeah.
So the hate will be like it will.
Because who will pity a person whose family has already called him a witch?
Do you understand? So there was no help coming from anywhere. Now, this hand now, I went back to the chemist the 7th day after, acting as if everything was all right. But I know it's not. Now, Dr. Ikpasa, as soon as he saw the load of bandage on the hand, you can imagine what a child wrapped. He screamed, "Who dressed this hand like this?" One of the nurses now said, "It's not me," and called the nurse who did the actual dressing. Dr. Ikpasa said, "Just go tell her that she's suspended." As soon as Dr. Ikpasa said that, I broke down. I cried. Oh my God, I'm having that feeling again. I felt like I've killed someone. You know, the woman was innocent, but at the same time, I couldn't defend her, because if I said she's not the one, then they'll ask me what happened. I felt so horrible. Can you imagine at the age of 7? It was like nerve-wracking. I cried. I laid on the floor. And Dr. Ikpasa felt, he actually thought I was crying because the hand was painful. He didn't know it was emotional stress. They took me to take off the bandage. And Dr. Ikpasa found out that the hand was infected and the top bit was rotten. So I saw Dr. Ikpasa. I saw his face. He was just thinking, how am I going to tell this child's mother? In his mind, the clinic has failed the woman and the her child. So Dr. Ikpasa just dressed the hand again, not like proper, because he knows it's gone, and told me to just go back home. So I went to meet my mom in the shop. I was seated outside. Don't forget, this time I don't get too close to my mom. I'm always like far away. I could just be seated afar. And Dr. Ikpasa got there. You know, I feel so sorry for my mom. Why I feel sorry for her is because I imagine the pain she went through, thinking her son was something. Now, Dr. Ikpasa met my mom and told my mom the situation. And my mom said, then cut it off. Yeah, she was able to say then cut it off because the man has convinced him that this thing has already been done.
In the spiritual.
There's
no need wasting our time.
Yes.